All right, guys. So I was really curious on if it was going to be possible for us to get another Michi game at a high level. And two players who were in the chat very much saw it was a spectacle and love this map, playing ranked at the same time. So in the red, we got Michi player, a.k.a. Matza, a.k.a. Black Forest. Made some videos on this guy. He does crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Again, TC dropped me earlier today. He said, when are you streaming? I said, I'm streaming later. And then dropped the TC on my face after trying to steal my board. So anyways, he's here playing as the Slavs. In the blue, we've got Emu. Emu's playing as the Goths. Emu you might know from community games. But Emu's actually quite good. 2200 elo as well. They're chatting now. And Emu is saying it's unfortunate he can't stonewall. Yeah, I was worried. Emu loves to stonewall. So normal Emu game would probably be walling all around the wood line for if the opponent cuts through. But he can't do that here because he got Goths. So that might save us a little bit of time. Now, this might be one of the toughest matchup for Goths out there. Heavy gunpowder sieves could create problems for them, but Slavs can out-infantry them with the Druzina champions and also have cheap scorpions and also have siege onagers. This is tough for Emu. So, if anything, this puts all the pressure on red because red has a much better civ here. Now, again, you've got the neutral markets. You can trade to those markets, so that's another aspect of this. But Goths, I've seen them win in situations where the tech tree says they shouldn't many times because their units are so cheap and spam so fast. So we'll see how it goes. Jake, thank you for the 5 gifted. I hope people are having fun with this. YouTube is either going to hate this or love this. No in between. But like I said, that's kind of what Michi does, you know? No one loaded up expecting to see Michi today. Emu says, at least I have Onager. Yeah, so Emu gets Onager, but you also get Bombard Cannon, which Slavs don't. So I think using Bombard Cannons to neutralize the siege, and even hand cannons, because Slavs don't get that, those will be key. So the gunpowder is probably going to need to be a big thing for Emu to focus on here. But anyways, we got a boomy game here, so we need something to talk about. Are we talking music, chat? I'm cool with talking music. I'm a big music guy. I'm actually very curious on what type of music my chat listens to. So, for those that are interested in sharing, let me know. Metal. Okay. Metal. Can you give me a... Well, let's go through genres first. Japanese pop? Okay, that is not something I listen to. All right, synthwave. I like synthwave every now and then. We got metal, punk, hip-hop, R&B, folk country. I figured that country would probably be the least mentioned genre of music in my chat. But there seems to be a couple people who like some country. I will listen to country at certain times. Like if I'm out in the country, in the middle of nowhere, back road or something, then the country comes on for me. ABC, anything but country? Okay. All right, so the people that say metal, give me a group. Or a couple, I guess. I mean, there's a lot of chatters here. By the way, I'm big into metal, punk, pop punk. So it's my most listened to genre. But it could be... There's like metalcore. Like, I don't really even know how genres are split up these days. Okay. Sabaton? Sabaton's a classic. When the winged hussars arrive. Okay, Korn, System. When you say System, you mean like System of a Down? Or is it a group called System? Disturbed? Alright, so you guys are mentioning a lot of like... some older metal groups. Like Slipknot, Disturbed. Iron Maiden, okay. Wow, with some of the groups you guys are mentioning, you never have a right to say that I hate change again. Just saying. You got some great groups. I love it. And they're all... There's not a lot of new music here. This is a lot of the classics. All right. Have you listened to Bring Me the Horizon? Okay, I do like some Bring Me the Horizon songs. I don't listen to them as much these days. Let me give you some of my groups, okay? I mentioned some of my groups. So one of my favorite albums when it comes to like metal or punk, or emo, somewhere in the middle, was the very first Escape the Fate album. I think it was a self-titled album, Escape the Fate. Is like No Sympathy for the Dead, I think is the name of the album, or one of the songs. That's like one of Ronnie Radke's first ones. Now he has a group called Falling in Reverse. I love both those, like a lot of those albums. I do like a lot of these groups you guys are mentioning as well. Do you guys know Stained? You guys know at least a couple Stained songs. It's been a while. Like, that's not one of their harder songs. You guys know Stained, right? Dude, I saw Stained live last year. Oh, was incredible. So good. So freaking good. I never thought I would see Stained live in my life. But they were really good. Great group. They're also like, a lot of people only know them for a couple songs. They've got pretty decent discography. Sorry, I'm all over the place with music right now. I'm trying to think of groups. A group, I don't know. You guys didn't really mention a lot of like newer metal. I'm a big fan of Ice Nine Kills. And if you're into like themed songs, they have like a whole Halloween album, and all the songs are basically based on like Halloween movies. And like, you know, the spookiness surrounding that. I love Ice Nine. Highly suggest them. It's like a mix of screaming and singing. One of my favorite groups all time is A Day to Remember. No one said A Day to Remember in my chat. They've got many albums with a lot of different songs, so highly suggest them as well. But this is a very fast uptime here from good old Michi player. Is on that second TC right away, but he doesn't have the stone for the third, so Emu's up later. Emu should probably have healthier eco here, actually. ADTR Florida rep. Yeah. Yeah, Day to Remember's sick. I'm trying to think through. I mean, dude, I like so much music. In more of the punk category, obviously some of the older punk groups that you guys have probably heard of, like Blink-182. I still am a big Blink guy. But there's a lot of good new, like, punk groups that I'm a big fan of. Like, all-timers, Sum 41. 100%. I actually think they're underrated somehow. Love Sum. But I really like Neck Deep. Neck Deep's again, it's hard for me to say, is that considered punk for some people? A big fan of Hot Mulligan. Yeah, Modern Baseball. Let's go, Napkin. Let's go. Now, don't you guys go clicking off my videos and streams to go listen to music. Just have the music on in the background. I'm not trying to encourage you guys to, you know, go somewhere else right now. But, you know, we're talking music. We're talking music. It's good times. Someone says Rise Against was one of my all-time faves. Not so much anymore, though. I actually think Rise Against is still top 5 all-time for me. I didn't go with this conversation based on, like, all-time, because that's a bit tricky, but I love Rise Against, man. I agree, though, that I listened to them more in the past, but their new music is actually still really good. So I'd suggest giving it a shot. Breaking Ben? Yeah, dude. I don't listen to Breaking Ben much these days, but Breaking Ben, 3 Days Grace for me, back in the day. So freaking good. So anyways, that's like my fiance and I's thing. Is like our thing. If we're gonna go out in public, it's for music. So that's our. We don't really like go to movies much. We don't. I mean, we're not. We still do other things, but our favorite thing to do is go to a concert. So it's hit or miss sometimes on what's available, but we really like to go to live shows. So I've been lucky to see some of these groups. And some of these groups, like, it's tough. Depending on where you're from, you might not get to see bands tour, right? So I think I'm pretty lucky in that I've been able to see some good ones. Okay. I'm going to say a group that I will occasionally binge, and I've mentioned this on stream before, all right? And I want you to tell me, when I say the group's name, what you think of it on a scale of normal to super old, okay? That's the scale. Normal to super old, right? Dream Theater. Thoughts? And don't... To the people who said super old before you even heard what I said, that's cheating. Someone says middle-aged. Dude, I freaking love a good old, like, breaking all illusion. Oh, wait. I forgot a key part of this. And oh god, we've got Stonewalls. Here's a key part of this. I watched the live performances. I will watch the live performances, not just like loading up the studio version. Because I just freaking love the, like, John Petrucci shredding on guitar, or like Mike Portnoy or Mangini just destroying the drums. And like, for me, that's the type of music I like the live feel more. How many TCs are we on? So Dream Theater, for those that don't know, like, my favorite Dream Theater song is 22 minutes. I think it's 22 minutes. There's some long songs. It's an experience. It's not like your traditional song format. These are very, very, very long songs that oftentimes will, like, tell a story. And that is not a band that many people in my day-to-day life appreciate. So, I'm old. But I blame my brother, because my brother... So I'm 32, my brother's 43, and my music taste is heavily influenced by my brother. So, it's not me, it's him. How many town centers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 town centers for Emu. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Red. I mean, 7 TCs feels a little... Maybe a little much. Yeah, Count of Tuscany is probably my favorite Dream Theater song. If you don't want to listen to a 22-minute song, just find a peaceful moment in your day and listen to the guitar solo at the intro. Just listen to that guitar solo. And if it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, you don't have to waste your time. Tool. Yeah, Tool's amazing, dude. Tool's amazing. Another thing, and again, this is gonna make me seem old. Dude, I love music with solos. Now, every song doesn't have to have a solo, but I feel like a lot of new music has the same format, like verse, chorus, outro. I love a little breakdown of, like, guitar solo every now and then, or a switch in the cadence. And I feel like a lot of newer music doesn't necessarily have that. One of my favorite metal groups is Atreyu. And Atreyu just ripping solos every song. Also talking about how, in some songs, about how life is hell and pain and misery and death. But, you know, there's also some happy ones, too. It balances out, you know? All right, so let's see how they're going to do the trade trick. All right, Emu, you've got the right idea, but you're still doing it wrong. You need 1 market down here, and then you need 3 markets here. Emu was just on stream when I talked about the game before. And now Red is... Guys, what are we doing? Okay, well, it's fine. T90, they announced the tour playing the Crimson in its entirety. Really? See, the issue is they don't have their starting singer anymore. So I've seen Atreyu live with their old singer and also with their new singer. And there's the new singer is amazing for his style, but I feel like they're really missing the OG. T90, what about Leprous? I don't think I've listened to them too much, no. So we're just booming, guys. If you didn't show up for music tangents or conversations, I'm sorry, but it's Michi. We will have some fights. You could make an argument that adding trade right now is not actually a good play, and that you could just go aggressive. Emu might be better off just fighting, because, I mean, this is not a matchup that's easy for Goths. Red knows that, so Red is full walling the map. T90, the Eco KD is 0-1. You missed the first death. I guess he lost a villager to a boar. I did miss that. Sorry. Anyways, it's cool to hear people's perspectives on what they're listening to. Some of the groups that you guys are saying, I've never heard of. I almost would love to have like a T90 playlist where you guys could all add a song. But I'm not going to do that because I know that you guys are going to troll and like throw Rickrolls in there. It's just going to be 100 unique songs and then 250 different versions of Never Gonna Give You Up. All right, so back to what I said before with the trade trick. You want markets directly next to the market you're trading with, and then a market on the other end. That way you skip that whole initial trip. So he's kind of got the right idea. I also like some classics. Like, sometimes I'll just load up. Depending on the mood, I'll actually listen to some Paul Simon. I like the Eagles. I like the Bee Gees. So I can kind of go all over. I also like, I do really like certain country artists. But I know country is not popular, so I'm not going to talk about country artists with you guys. But there's a time and a place for me. So the walls are up. I think slabs get fortified wall. Dire Straits. Yeah, dude. Dire Straits is sick. Upgrades are coming in, and the trade is on the way. T90 old country, not this new age crap. Yeah, usually it's older country. The newer country, I don't consider country. I consider it more like pop. And texts are flying in, but the Goth player says, the only thing I need is infantry. Is it meta to stonewall on Michi? I think it's smart because they're going to cut to you. And when they do, you don't want to be surprised. I think it should be meta. But I think it's especially meta when you have the better Civ. So Red knows if he can get maxed out that the Goths will struggle. And I think that's why Red has done this. And you could tell, like, Emu, who's deleting villagers like crazy right now. Emu is looking to push. Zenith, thanks for 27. Baltimore, thanks for the 9. What's up, Tame? Thanks for the 12. Appreciated, chat. You know, an artist... we'll maybe switch away from music here in a sec, but one more thing. An artist that I actually really enjoy, at least one of his albums. Not all his songs, but like the Stick Season album is Noah Kahan. And I don't know if what that is considered. Or if you guys will even know who that is. But I find his music to be really, really nice. Is it folk country? Okay. So, yeah, anyways, he's incredible. He's got some really, really good songs. Okay, the cut has happened. Emu is here. Red is not prepared for this yet. And Emu's getting pretty excited right now. He's slaughtering some vills. He's going to make it through. But there's walls everywhere. There's walls everywhere. And there's 3 castles now in Elite Boyar. So without the walls, Red could be screwed. And Red's going to lose the vills, but Red can afford to lose these villagers. That's not a big deal. Trebuchets needed to be here right now for Emu. If Emu had the Trebs, this could actually be a problem for Red. And Emu's just hoping that he doesn't thoroughly wall. And Emu loves to stonewall himself. He knows now that his opponent is fully walled. So, Emu, no matter where you check, there's going to be walls, my friend. And both players kind of max pop. Goths can get up to 210 pop, which is nice. And we have a siege tower in the queue for Emu. Okay. Red already has Druzina, and he has Detonate, so the castles are cheaper. And he can build a lot of them. Boyar champion should be insane. And when you have the walls, they can't attack you, but you can attack them. You probably want the champions in front here, Red. And here they come. I really think the only way Red loses this game is if he is too greedy with the eco. It'll come down to the cost of things. I think this should be a really nice fight for him. The Boyars take out the siege. The champions with the splash damage come in from this side. And that was a good chance for Emu. If he had siege to take down those castles, could have maybe made the play. And Red says, another thing about this game, we both play without attack sounds. Yeah, okay, so I don't even know if I believe this. I think they're doing it because it riles up chat. I don't know how I verify this, but apparently both players don't play with sound. There's no way that's real. I mean, it might explain a lot about the psychology of people who favorite Michi. I don't know how deep I want to get on that. But that does explain a lot about Michi players. But still, no sound? I just don't get it. But Red knows there's an audience and wants to let the people know. No game sounds is the best way to play. I play League and Warcraft 3 with no sounds. How is it better? Pose an argument to me. I mean, seriously. We've got the time. I just don't see how that's better. I just can't be convinced. There's some pretty classic sounds, you know? You can't stonewall if you're Goths. That's the problem here for Emu. I think he's overboomed. You're not going to beat the Slavs with same military count. I think you need to have more military. Emu's resources are incredible. I guess if Emu loses eco, though, then the military count's going to spike up. But Red prepared those trebuchets perfectly. Will take down that castle and will be directly into Emu Warrior's base. I would have liked to see gunpowder here from Emu. There are a couple bombard cannons coming, but I would have liked to see some hand cannons as well, honestly. Halb, hand cannon, bombard cannon, I think is maybe your best option. Let's see if Red can keep this up, though. The Goths can recover instantly when they lose units, and the Slavs cannot. Emu's still struggling. Bombard cannon there is being repaired. Stays alive. There's a couple of them. One treb down. This could swing back. Another treb's going to go down. And it's just the difference in production speed. Red thought I was going to win this game, and no. You're not even close. Yeah, Emu also did lose some eco somewhere. Yeah, it looks like he deleted farmers there. That's the way to do it. That's fine. Like, at least there's some recognition. I'm a little surprised we haven't seen Onager yet from Red. But maybe he feels like he doesn't need it. But Heavy Scorp from Emu is a really nice play in this choke point. Again, I think both players could justify deleting a lot more pop. But neither player really ready to do that yet. Emu, the king of banking up resources here. More text coming in. Anarchy. Okay. I don't know how helpful that is. I don't think Huskarls would be very needed here, but might as well. Devotions. Maybe not bad. All these texts can be helpful. And when you have Emu's resources, why not, right? Are they listening to the stream? No, but they were watching the stream in between. That's the other thing, too. It's like, it's not like he doesn't know, they don't own a pair of headphones. They listen to me talk on stream, and then they load into the game and they take the headphones off? I don't understand. Now, if they're listening to music or something at the same time, that I would kind of get. Like, I know Tato listens to music when he plays tournaments. But there is still game sound, so. Here comes a little scouting party just to see. What's he got over here? Oh. A lot. He has a lot. And those champions die. How are they trading? Michi starts with a neutral market. Kind of interesting how Emu's building this additional layer of wall just in case there's a cut. Emu did also build the outposts to know if the opponent's coming through. Siege Onager should be the next click for Red. Already has Onager. I see production being an issue for Red. I'm not seeing that many barracks. I'm seeing like... Well, actually, there's quite a few. The roofs all blend together. So there's 14 barracks. But there's 11 for Emu, and Emu spams way faster. Here we go, guys. This could be an endless game, at least until the trees are gone. There's onagers. There's scorpions from Emu. This is a good comp. This is why Red's going to need Siege Onager. Look how fast the champions go down to the scorpions. And then there's cannons behind to snipe the onagers. This is how you can actually win with this matchup. And Emu will have to be patient. But I think I could be a little worried about this. Now, you could also make your own scorpions of your slabs. But then you can't... You might struggle against the bombard cannons, and you can't make bombard cannons. So I think you got to go Siege Onager. Onager is the key. Or you can just brute force it. Like, maybe your units are strong enough, like Boyars. If you get 70 Boyars, you probably kill everything. Champions died to the Scorps, but... Oh! The positioning from Emu was sick there. He just body blocked him. And Red just runs through anyways. Took a lot of unnecessary hits, but that's good micro from Emu. And those Boyars are not cheap. You can't just replace those Boyars. Man, Chad, I kind of want to talk about music again. I just thought of a couple albums we didn't talk about, but whatever. We've got Age of Empires. That's kind of fun, I guess. Red, seriously, no Onager? No Siege Onager? It's not something you usually see in 1v1s. Maybe he's forgetting about that. Emu's army is very cheap. It's mainly Halbs. The Boyars loop around. Oh, the Onager flattens the Scorpions. If you would have had headphones on, he would have heard the Onager. Probably not. But nice job there from Red. Again, there's endless amounts of gold if you can trade. So losing Boyars like that isn't actually bad, I guess. If it was a standard 1v1, that would be super risky. And it will take some time to build up those Scorpions again. So Emu is trying. And Emu is using his own Trebs against the Trebs from Red. And just as Red thinks he's pushed back, Emu is going to defend. The Trebs go down, and the Goths are back in business, baby. Goths are back in business. All right, you want to hear about music? One of my favorite albums is American Idiot by Green Day. And I think the main reason it's my favorite, and I grew up in a pretty sheltered environment, and I got it for my birthday when I was however old, I forget, right? I got it for my birthday, and my parents took it because they didn't think it was going to be good for me or something, right? Oh, what a mistake, Mom and Dad. They thought, if we take this, he won't hear, some of the things they're saying, and he will be better for it. But what actually happened was I listened that much harder and got my hands on another version of that CD. I had another friend who got me the disc on the bus, and I listened to it with passion. And I listened to the words way more. Actually, I'm like, I wasn't even going to pay attention to the lyrics, but now that Mom and Dad don't want me to listen to it, you better believe I'm going to listen to all these things they're saying about Jesus. It's funny how that works. I'm sure you guys can relate. Crazy battles here, man. I mean, you could see how tough it is for the Goths to fight. On that note, I was doing my... It's weird. I think I've told the story before, but whatever. I remember finding my brother's... I forget if it was a Bible or if it was a dictionary. It could have been either. But I'm like 16 years old. And when my brother moved out, I inherited his room, which had a bookcase. And I needed a Bible or a dictionary. I don't remember which. And I opened it. It was probably the Bible because well, let's be honest. I didn't open many dictionaries or Bibles. So, anyways, I opened this and it's hollowed out. I expected there to be pages and it was like cut. There was like this rectangular cut into the depths of this book. And I was like, what? What is this? And so what? I'm like 16. That makes him 27. And I text him. I'm like, hey, I found this. What is this for? And he's like, bro, that's where I hid all the music mom and dad didn't want me to listen to. Music, quote unquote. He might not have wanted to told his 16-year-old brother if it was something else. But it probably was music. And, yeah, just funny times, man. Funny times. This game might never end. 7K gold for Emu. 3K gold for Red, but I mean, Red's got a decent queue. I still think Emu is in the better position to outlast Red. But the fights are just so good for Boyars and Champions. It's crazy. It's actually criminal that Red doesn't have Siege Onager, though. Maybe he doesn't feel like it's worth it. I think the key for Emu was 20 Scorps. And every time Emu gets back up to that Scorpion counter, Red just snipes him. But every time Red thinks he wins a fight, the Goth player just instantly produces again, and he's right back. Like, this continues to happen. He takes a good fight, and then instantly the Goths reappear with more units. It's crazy. Also, a couple hand cannons going to be mixed in from Emu. Your economies have to be pretty crazy. To throw away armies like this, you have to have a lot of eco. So I don't think they should go any lower than they have right now. They've got pretty good ratios. Did your taste in music take off of your brother's? Well, yeah, I used to burn CDs of music from my brother's PC. So a lot of my music was from my brother. So I remember the most of the songs on the first CD I burned. Was like Nickelback and Fuel and Stained. What else was on that CD? Trying to think of songs. I think there was some Green Day. What are some other groups? Oh, Incubus. All those groups I still love today. All those groups I still love. Like, great music. Oh, there's some Weezer on that album, too. Red says, can we say it's a draw? No, we're talking here. We're having fun. You guys have to play the game. I get to talk about music. You favorited this. You named yourself Michi Player. Now, damn it, you finished this. Emu says, Emu's thinking about it. Why, though? Emu's having fun. Emu says, I have score lead. This is true. This is true. Well, Red's doing the right thing here. Emu's able to win the fights because he can just reinforce right here. So Red's got to take the fight somewhere else. So switching that up isn't a bad thing. I think that Red should wall this, though, because if you eventually lose a fight, you don't want units to be able to just run right into your eco. Finally, Siege Onager's on the way. What's up? I require a hug. Welcome. Salty as Puddle in chat says, my first CD was Jars of Clay. Oh, I remember Jars of Clay. Emu sees this. And he's really hoping to stop this, whatever this is. And I don't know where Red's going right now. Is Red trying to turn this into a wood game? How much wood is left? 300k. Well, if this was a community game, I would say that the wood would run out. But it's a 1v1, so... Siege Onager's now completed. And Red just like takes a look to see what's in there and says, yep, I can't deal with that. Oh, wait, it's going to be cut. It's going to be cut. This is going to open up. Bam. There we go. So that's entry number 2. And here come the Boyars. And the Boyars are excited. The Boyars are going to break through. And never mind. No, they're not. There's a house here now. Well, they'll break through the house pretty quickly. But I guess there's more houses now. Okay. I mean, this feels like a distraction. These men were sent here to distract from this. And I think the main battle could ramp up again. Boyars get through. That's annoying for Emu. And this could happen on a much larger scale if he's not careful. But the castles, He really thought ahead. The castles are there. And, oh, red, don't do this. Oh, God, they're through. Oh, that's really good for red. That's really good for red. Now, can he manage this at the same time? Can Emu manage this at the same time? The Boyars will be back into the trade. The champions get absolutely slaughtered if they get anywhere close to the Scorpions. That's a lot of Scorpions. You need like 10 siege onagers if you're red. Not 2, 10. Yeah, that's not going to be worth it. Emu's going to take a really good engagement here. Emu stacking castles into his eco, though. Will bring Halbs over to defend. He'll take some heavy losses. Red is taking heavy losses on the front. Goths are insane. I told you this could be winnable with the Goths, man. If you don't go only infantry, it's very doable. Emu's played it well. He's played it like a seasoned Michi veteran. I don't know if he's seasoned or a veteran, but he's good on Michi. And he likes it here. 8k gold. Crazy how much gold he's banking. Look at that. Will never change unless the trade is stopped. And you're not going to stop the trade unless you've already won the game, so. Michi 100 army. Or Michi 100 army. Emu 100 army, sorry. Just rename him to Michi Warrior. I just don't think there's enough siege here for red. There needs to be the onagers behind, and one onager can get sniped, and it's an absolute slaughter, dude. The Scorpions are insane. But see, people will learn, guys. People learn. And what red has also learned is that siege towers are fun. He's clicked at some siege towers. Damn. Now, you have to go for a very slow crawl if you do it this way with Scorpions. No potential for raids over here. Champions and bombard cannons and hand cannons. Slow and steady and patient from Emu. That's how you have to play this comp. You can't rush it. Red's going back into more Boyars. It's painful to me that red doesn't have fletching for the castles or ballistics. That could be helpful here. I think the siege towers were a misclick. It could be kind of funny, though, because I think they can tank a lot of the Scorpion shots, so maybe it's a strategy. Oh, it's not a misclick. He's going in. My man is going in. I actually will have a siege tower upload on YouTube in a couple days. Pretty crazy game. Okay, here we go. How do you get close? You got to use the siege tower. This is what we call the infantry taxi. Beep, beep. Beep, beep. Excuse me. Coming through. Coming through. I mean, that's a pretty expensive taxi. I don't know if that was worth it. Bombard cannons from Emu will snipe those trebs. Oh, he loses 2 of the cannons, but the Scorpions are just dominating, man. You don't think of Goths as a Scorpion civ, you think infantry civ, but wrong. 90 kills on those Scorpions right now. And a very healthy queue for Emu, and just more bodies hitting the floor every single time. I think this could be near the end. Again, I think... Oh, red deletes his walls now. He's getting serious. They were getting in the way. You need the meat shield, and you need more than 4 siege onagers. You need, like, enough where you can lose a couple siege onagers and still have some remaining. That has never happened yet for red. So now he's learned. You, like, that's what I mean. You can still land a shot. As long as you're still able to land shots, you're good. Boyar's dive. Wow, that was some nice micro from Emu against the onager. To see if more onagers will arrive. The Boyars are doing their thing, but still the Scorpions are okay. And that is a lot of Boyars from red. Where are the onagers? The onagers are on the way. They need to be here. They need to onage. This is good, though. Peeling off a couple Boyars to snipe the Scorpions, that's never a bad thing. And once that Scorpion number goes down, I think the champions can start to win those fights again for the Slavs. Wow, man. This is crazy engagement. I think this is obviously going to still be a back-and-forth meat grinder of a game, but that is an amazing fight for red. We basically reset, and the same exact thing is probably going to happen again. The Scorpions are going to be massed again. Blue's going to need to regroup. And red will try and push forward now. This game might never end. What have we done? Why have I done this? Why am I here? Well, maybe I'm here for the primes. Thank you, Whiskers, for the prime. Riots and thanks for the 11 months. How much gold per trade card? 63? Is that it? 63? Really? I thought it'd be more than that. 63, apparently. I guess it's because it's a 1v1 game. I'm used to team game numbers. Dude. Red just runs through at the bowyards. That's actually pretty smart. Because the second the Scorpions are gone, his champions own, right? Well, over 2,000 units have died in battle in this game, and they deserve our salutes. I want Emu to win unless Red starts making 5 Siege Onagers every time. This one Siege Onager thing is a tease. It's not going to be easy either way. It probably won't change the game instantly, but there we go. More Siege Workshops. Clearly thinking about this. T90, it's been like an hour. I still don't know what Michi means, and at this point, I'm afraid to ask. I also don't know if Michi means anything. I just know what Michi is the map. I have never heard the backstory. Maybe it's based on something. That's a great question. I don't have any answers for you, dude. Emu sitting on 8k gold. And maybe it was a mistake from the devs to add trade to this map. This will become a wood game. It's actually all about who's banking the most wood right now. Which Red is... He's not chopping any of the forward wood. Would you not want to chop the forward wood and then save the backwood for later? And then again, chopping the backwood maybe clears up your trade a little bit more. Scorpions, man. T90, Red only knows slabs win on paper. He wants to play quality versus quantity and not rely on SO. Maybe. You say that, and now he queues up 8 Siege Onagers. So I think he just... Basically, the game is hard, and there's a lot to focus on, and that explains why people are or are not doing things. Okay, people are trying to give me the definition of Michi, but I don't actually know where it originated in Age of Empires. But apparently in Japanese, it sometimes uses given or a nickname means path or way. Is the joke that there's no way? Or that you have to cut a path? I don't know. But Michi's classic, man. Like, I remember Michi lobbies, like, way back in the day. Oh, dude. Dude, that's a lot of Scorpions. That is a lot of Scorpions. Red needs Onagers now. Oh, he Onager cut through here. Okay. He kills some of his own units. But now he's losing his siege workshops on the front just as he needs the Onagers. That's really bad time. There's one Onager. Splat! Here's another Onager. Splat! And another. Another splat. Oh, dude, Onagers are so sick. That's why you need them, but there's nothing else. And there's still... That's why you make 50 Scorpions. So if you lose half of them, you've got enough left over. Trebs are here to push down castles. Now, castles are not an infinite resource. They don't cost gold. They cost stone. And actually, in the slabs case, it also costs some wood, which might be kind of a big deal. So this is something you have to repeat many, many times. But every time you take down a castle in these scenarios, you feel like that's a big change for you. And the Trebs do the job. Take down the castle. And Red kind of falling behind here. Now, he is getting some Vil kills over on this side. That's good. He's got a much better economy than Emu right now. But Emu's got more military pop space now. And you can tell that even though Emu's units are worse, Emu can just make more of them. And every time there's an Onager, Emu snipes it. Red, again, I think, consistently getting frustrated with himself that he needs more siege onagers. He just built the siege workshops on the front before this, but they got taken out, so he needs more. I mean, all this production on the front is important, and now more production from Emu. Yeah, Emu never loses this. I could be very wrong, but actually, I take it back. Emu's down by 60 pop. I take it back. I take it back. No, I don't. I'm not a coward. I think Emu can do this. Also, what's up with the relics? I guess there's only one relic on each side. Okay, so it's just that Emu got one and Red did not. Okay. I just voted for a player who did that. Emu clicked the villager after the Boyar. Maybe he thought it was a help. It is weak. One of them is. It's on 1 HP. So, okay. Wow, Emu doesn't have... Emu needs more Vills. Look at this. Vills in queue, getting them back to res, that hurt. Like, he got the wind knocked out of him and he needs to recover now. Someone says, how many subs? Anytime I have a vote of confidence in someone these days, there's always someone who wants a sub. They're like, oh, well, how many subs are you going to bet on it? How many subs? Even if it's just like a normal, casual comment. I respect it. Also, aren't gifted subs discounted for the rest of the week on Twitch? I think they are. That maybe explains all the gifts. Thank you, guys. Oh, man. This is the silence of this peaceful moment in between all the battles. More houses from Emu, who unfortunately cannot stonewall. And Emu will kill off the raiding Boyars on the sides. Another raid now from Red, and this is good because Emus needs to regroup. And I like that as well from Red. He attacked on this side. Emu will now go deal with that, and now the Boyars are coming through. And this is the problem. You just cannot wall this out. One player can attack, and the other player runs into walls. Well, some areas are walled. It's not fully walled anymore. Oh, he's gonna feast. He's gonna absolutely feast on Emu's eco here. And the wood eco is really important, right? Well, if Emu needed any motivation to push the middle, this is it. He says, all right, you're sending your pop to kill me. I'm gonna disregard my eco. I'm gonna kill you now. Oh, man, this is getting pretty insane. It might have been a mistake to go raid, Red. You need your units to die, actually, so you can get help in the middle. That is a death ball of scorpions yet again. And Red going to queue up more onagers, but those onagers are in queue behind 5 or 6 units in each siege workshop, so they won't be here for a little bit. Also, Emu keeps sending all new vills to this wood line, and they keep dying, so that's worth noting. And Red was even chopping the trees. He's taking the wood. You have to be very careful with your scorpions now if you're Emu, because they will stack up, and they have a tendency to go a little too far here and get hit by some siege onagers. But he's been patient. He needs the bombard cannons and trebs ready to take down this line of castles. That's so many castles, though. And so many Boyars on the way. Damn. Emu buying wood. Never a good sign if you're buying wood. Again, I think that was his main wood eco, and then he just was sending all new vills from TCs to that wood line. That was a really nice spot for Red to hit. And now Red can run right through again. Runs into some halbs, though. And I require a hug with the 10 gifted. Let's go. Thank you, thank you. Makes me feel a little bit better about this painful Michi game. But it's been cool. It's been painful, but in, like, the good way, you know? I'm exaggerating. I wouldn't say it's painful yet. If we cross the 2-hour mark and it's the same thing, maybe then the regret starts to seep in. Can you imagine if the Scorpions could somehow loop in here and catch these champions from the other side? It's kind of tough to do because the onagers are there. Nice attack rounds there from Emu, though. Must be so painful to not be able to build houses here. What do you guys think about Goth Hussar? Red has never gone for Halb or Goth Cavalier. I think that could be a real, like, game-changing moment if you were to hide, like, 40 of them. But that's risky because you need to actively fight. The champions are through. The wood line's still over here for Emu. He is over here, too. I mean, there's wood everywhere. But Red really focusing in the right areas here. What are Cavaliers going to do against Bowyars? Yeah, I guess if Bowyars are still there, it doesn't feel that great. Just thinking of things you can do differently. Emu sees the Siege Onagers and the Scorpions and the Bowyars, and everything is advancing. And every time this happens, he moves forward. Which is really smart, because if you simply react to this, you die. Because then Red will take the middle. This is like a chess game. Well, I just started playing chess, and so I don't know how good that comparison is. But, you know, it's a chess game with 200 pieces, you know? And the champions for the Goths are pawns that are easily replaceable. Another castle will fall. Those Trebs are fully protected. The bomber cannon's protected. This is what some players are just so good at. Controlling, waiting for that the number of Trebs and bomber cannons and protecting them. And Red is panicking. Yeah, I started playing chess. So far, I'm able to beat the 700 elo bots. And occasionally the 800 elo bots. And I also never thought I could ever get tilted playing chess. But apparently that's possible, because when you throw pieces away, it's very frustrating. But it's fun so far. Oh, God. Oh, the Siege Onager missed the spot. Or missed the shot, sorry. The bomber cannons are ready. Oh, man. Emu's control over these units is so good, actually. Well, now he misses. And now his Trebs are going down. He does take out that Onager, but there's more Onagers to come. And if those Onagers can just get to the Scorpions! Get to the Scorpions! 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 Bombard cannons! Anything! Oh, man. Red's gonna... Red can hold this now. Just needs to get some more units in front of those Siege Onagers. Do you follow chess tournaments? No. And like my brother's trying to get me to like watch videos and content and stuff. And I'm like, you know how I say I don't want to intervene with Lowy the Legends? And I don't want to inform them and tell them the way they're playing is wrong? That's where I am. I'm really enjoying not being informed and just playing the game. I want to have fun and experience it all myself instead of having someone tell me what to do. Which is super easy to do. But yeah, I got a physical chessboard that links up to online. Because I also don't like playing on a PC or whatever. I like a physical board, so... it's quite fun. I know it's a crazy concept to have fun with the game instead of just trying to sweat to become good. Crazy concept in 2025. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. Chess is fun at low levels where half the game isn't just muscle memory. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to... I'm sure I'm going to hate chess if I get to like mid ranks or high ranks or something, because it's probably... It ruins some of the charm for me. What a game, guys. What a game. Crazy hold there from Red. That looked dangerous. Now, that did damage, though. He still lost a lot of his foundations there. So, Emu just has to repeat this same cycle like 5 or 6 times. And then maybe he can win. He still has 12k gold, by the way. But the Siege Onagers, this is what I've been waiting for. They have been the key. And oh my goodness, isn't that glorious? Damn. I mean, the Q is good for Red. The only thing for Red I can say on that is maybe not having the production building number. Maybe could use more barracks or more siege workshops. But finally, Red realizes siege onager numbers are key. And if you miss even just one of these siege onagers, you're going to lose all your scorpions. So Emu has to be very, very careful. I actually think he should just be sending champs to go snipe those. He'll lose a lot, but that's maybe the best approach. Like, that's 40 pop right there, all stacked on each other. Yeah, like, bombard cannons are great against the siege onagers. And that can work against them. But my point is, you can't kill them all. Okay, cool. You killed 2. You still can't engage. So that's why I would always want to have, like, 6 to 10. And then if the opponent isn't playing perfectly, they struggle to advance. Yeah, and then you get some moments. I don't know why he didn't commit there. I think it would have been worth just killing those bombard cannons. But maybe he's very emotionally attached to those bowyars. T90, this is why you can't say Emu never loses this. Listen, Emu's chopping trees. Emu's got 14k gold. Emu is nowhere close to death in his mind. And they both know that chat is watching. They both know there's people here. This game is gonna be a long one. But like Red is becoming more and more aware that he can raid the wood line, which is really smart. It's just baffling to me, though, that he's not chopping the forward wood himself. It's like he's saving it. He's taking all the wood in the back. I would be saving the wood in the back, and I'd have villagers on the front. This is emergency wood. You don't want to take from the emergency wood, you know? It's like, you know, if you ever have a supply of water or food in case all hell breaks loose, you don't take from the emergency stash unless it's necessary. I mean, Red has enjoyed the siege onagers. I've enjoyed seeing the siege onagers. They are very, very slow, though. And Emu lost quite a few vills this game. He's lost 143 vills, but still in a good position. What happened to Emu's wood in the back? I think he chopped through them, but he's always relocating villagers to wood. Are you enjoying this game, Halb? He said yes. Okay. Wouldn't it be fun to just knock down all the wood in the middle? With the onagers? Yeah, it'd be pretty fun. But this is Michi, guys. This is what you're getting into when you leave Michi unlocked. An absolute brawl. But it's made very different by the fact that they can trade. The trade actually means this could be somewhat endless. So that's the wild part. Just those neutral markets. And those bombard cannons still outrange the SO. And Emu starting to pick away. Will this be the longest game of the month? Or the year? I hope not. But it could be. Oh, man. The bomber cannons are looking good. And look, you can get in with the champs. Maybe get a couple snipes as well. And then maybe start to creep forward. Great control. He really is incredible at keeping his trebs and bomber cannons protected. Look, he's still waiting. So many people just forget about their siege. And they have it in the middle. And they just randomly lose it. He just waits for his moment every time. Great attack ground again. Damn. I think Red just is getting a little too... he's caring about his units too much. I would be diving with my bowyars to force the bomber cannons back and then allowing the siege onagers to advance forward. Because there's not a big meat shield for this. The champs will die to the scorps, but I think if you get enough bowyars, you could take this. You cannot destroy the market. The market has infinite HP. Well, it's 10k, but that, if anything looks like that in AoE 2, that means, like, it's got crazy armor, it's got crazy HP, it can't be destroyed. It'd be next level, though, if you cut through and, like, castle next to that market. Why is no one buying stone? Yeah, I was actually surprised we didn't have people buying stone. And hey, we got some Cavalier on the way. Also, there's the stone buy. And he just casually buys 1,500 stone. Now Emu buys stone. Are they listening? Crazy. This happens almost immediately. I think it just feels like a natural moment to fortify up. Emu, if you're listening, lose your 4 bombard cannons to a siege onager shot. Well, that's a good fight for red, but the castles are starting to fall. Emu's advancing forward. Those 5 trebs have come forward, and they're ready to go. And now some desperation from red, but he doesn't have the SO ready. Oh, he's panicked. He's panicked right now. He is super panicked, and how could you not be? This is so well played from Emu. Remember, red said, do you want to call it a draw? And he said, why, though? He's like, I'm happy here. This is my home. Oh, God. Hold up. 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 That's a lot of scorpions. The scorpions are melting. Well, no, sorry. They're not melting. They are in the process of melting the boyars. Castles are still falling for red. The trebs are still firing. This castle for Emu is going to complete and then be destroyed. But he is repairing it. It just seems so much easier for Emu to gather his units right now because he's got everything comes to the front. Red's got things coming right through the battlefield. 2,000 kills for Michi player. But Michi player is unraveling. Castle's still up. Castle is somehow still up. That's crazy. Emu's a god at this map, man. Like, always sniping the siege. Always keeping the trebs and bomber cannons alive. The scorpions are used so patiently. Those are the units that so many people just lose track of and lose that are so critical in games. Scorpions, trebs, bombard cannons. When most players play with them, they're horribly ineffective. Here comes more boyars. Oh, man. I mean, that's a number of scorpions you just can't engage against unless you have the siege onagers, which I'm sure are in queue somewhere. But I think the siege is coming from here. So red is being split in half. Emu's going to drop another castle here. Did lose that one. But the GG is called. And the game ends. Red realizes he can't keep up anymore, and he really just can't. The spam from Emu is absolutely insane. And so Slavs, supposedly the better civ. They have better siege in some ways. They've got better eco with the farms. They've got Drazina champions, which is better than Goth champions. Blah, 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 blah. Goths get it done through very cheap units in front. And the scorpions and the trebs and the bomber cannons were absolutely key. 189 scorpions made. There were 1,200 champions made for Emu. 600 halps. That's a lot of boyars and champions on the other side. But I think it was just how the fights were taken. Emu is just he's a creepy crawler, man. Or not a creepy crawler means something else. He's able to just slowly crawl and creep forward is my point. And like keep this death ball together. And chip away at the fortifications from the enemy. So, was that almost 4,000 kills? Or was that 4,000 kills? I think we were just short of that, but still, great game. And yeah, actually, we've covered 2 Michi games, and the player named Michi player has lost. But, I mean, it's still good games. Still good games. I think the main difference, I would say, is earlier in the game we needed siege onagers. I think that's what I would suggest to red. But look at this. Look at the difference in food and gold. I mean, Goths are OP. Look at this. We'll give no credit to Emu whatsoever, because we already gave him lots of credit. I mean, losing a game after having that much more food and gold would be painful. I wanted to see also the military high. Yeah, see, this was a big part too. 113 army high versus 73. I just think Goths are able to replace the units so quickly compared to any other civ. So even if the fights aren't cost effective, they've just got more meat on the field, you know? Damn. GG.